Hello everyone. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm gonna just wait a second. Hello, hi Vivian. I'm just gonna wait a second and wait for everyone to hop on. Hey guys, how's it going? Alex here. Hey guys. Hey everyone. Hello. Thanks for coming on. We're gonna have a good time chatting today, I hope. My hair's a mess. Hello guys. Where are you all joining me from? Hi Megan. Hey guys. Where is everyone coming from? I live in Chicago and it is so snowy here. It is so sad. Hi, Haley. Hey guys, how's it going? New York City, did it snow there? It's been, hello, hi. Hey guys, former Chicagoan. So you feel my pain. Oh, San Diego. Ugh. So you're just like living it up over there. Snow here, yeah, no, not yet. Oh, hello, awesome. Hi guys, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, so we went out to get a little breakfast drinks this morning. I got a coffee and oh, Miss Chicago, yeah, it's nice. Hi from Kansas, hello. And we were walking, I had to bust out my big fur boots and we were going along trying not to fall on the ice and everything. So, all right. Well, thanks for hopping on, everyone. I guess hi from Seattle. Hey, how's the weather there? I wonder. It's been so gloomy here in Chicago, and it's finally sunny, so I'm happy. All right. Well, I guess let's get started. We have a lot to talk about today because the concept of acne is yeah, awesome, Sunny. I know, I was ready for it. The concept of acne is actually a really complicated one, and it is surprisingly hard to get at the root of it in a lot of cases. And there's so much, thanks for the hearts, guys. There's so much that we hear about, like we should be treating it topically and everything, but there's actually so much more to the story. So at any point, if you guys have questions, oh, I love all the hearts. If at any point you guys have hormones, yes, we will be getting into that for sure. If at any point you have questions, feel free to hop on and ask them, and I will try to get to it. I have my little sticky note here, and I will be jotting them down because I can't always remember, and if I forget, just remind me. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. Otherwise, I'm going to get started. So the not a Bears fan, only Cubs. Oh, I like the Bears. They're kind of hard to love right now, but more of a Cubs fan. We have a lot of Cubs stuff in our house. Okay, so there's going to be four major. Yeah, you're laughing. It's a little rough right now. There's going to be four major health systems that we're going to talk about. One is going to be gut health. You've undoubtedly heard that gut health and acne are very much related. We're going to talk about inflammation and the immune system. And so those are also linked to gut health, but they can be standalone topics as well. We're going to talk about the endocrine and hormonal system. You can imagine that's a big part of it. And we're also going to talk about detox pathways. So those are my four. There are, in the body, everything's connected. So there are others that play a role. But since, when I was figuring out what I wanted to talk about, I feel like these are the four most common ones that are implicated in why people have acne issues. Of course, there are other smaller things. So we can get, feel free to ask me questions about those and we can dig into those details just a little bit more. But these are just my big four. All right, so, and of course, hop on with questions as I go. Otherwise, I'll just keep blabbing, and I have my little sticky note here. Okay, so gut health. Gut health is really important because the skin on the outside of our body and the skin or the endothelium on the inside of our GI tract, we're basically a big tube with a smaller tube right down the middle. All of those cells are derived from this same cell lineage. So that's to say, when we are developing in utero, the cells that come from both the outside of our skin and the inside of our skin are actually from the same cell line. So a lot of the signaling molecules that interact between our gut and the outside of our body are very, very similar, and they talk to each other. So there's a lot of crossover between what our gut is doing and what our skin outwardly appears to be. So for that reason, gut health is really, really important for dealing with acne, because it is virtually impossible, in my opinion, to get rid of acne and not have a healthier gut. Okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, but any problems with your gut will lead to immediate problems with your skin. And a lot of times you can actually see that if you eat something or eat like, exactly. You eat greasy food, you eat things that bother you. Like I am really sensitive to gluten. I will break out in a rash. I will get acne. I will get all sorts of stuff just from being exposed to gluten, because all of those cells are reacting in a similar way, and those receptors are going to deal with the problem similarly. So the number one thing that we can do for our skin health is remove common allergens. Now, a lot of you, if you're following me or Megan or Haley of Primal Palette, because I know they invited people on here, you probably have already identified and at least heard about the common allergens that bother a lot of people. So those are your soy, your corn, your gluten, and gluten-like molecules. There's more than gluten. There's your dairy. Those, in my mind, are the big ones, but there's certainly a lot more. So if you've already eliminated those but are still having problems, there are things like FODMAPs, there's histamine-releasing foods. There are, sometimes you just have problems with certain foods. Like, I love apples, but for some reason I can't really eat a lot of them without having GI problems, and then consequently skin problems. So you unfortunately just have to eliminate and retest certain foods, and you kind of, as you do an elimination diet, begin to notice patterns. So that's one thing that I like to do a lot of. So starting first is you're going to eliminate allergens. Number two, in my opinion, I think that we do way too much taking away food and not enough adding back in. So anytime you're doing an elimination diet, in my opinion, I think we should be focusing on nutrient density and nutrient variety. And that, thanks for the hearts, guys, you can't just end up eating sauerkraut. This is my joke because I always used to do that. Ooh, I love the hearts, thanks. I was eating sweet potatoes, grass-fed hot dogs, and sauerkraut. Those were my big meals to go to, and that's great. I had removed a lot of allergens that were bothering me, but I didn't bother to add in a whole bunch of nutrient-dense and nutrient-varied food. And the reason that's important is that, hey, how's it going? You guys jump in with questions if you have them. The problem with that is that when you take away and only leave yourself a little sliver of nutrients that you're intaking on a regular basis, what happens is that your biochemical reactions are not supported by cofactors. So anytime in the body you have a reaction, you're taking a molecule A and going to molecule B. To make that interaction happen, there's a molecule C up here facilitating that reaction. Most of these molecules C are vitamins, minerals, nutrients that we have to get. Anytime that we're deficient in them, the body then has to do several steps to get to the same point, if it's a crucial step, or leave that step out entirely. And that's where you start to see deficiencies and breakdown at the cellular level. And so the cell lines that tend to replicate the most, like the gut lining, the skin, our hair, our nails, they begin to suffer. And so for those reasons, I'm a big proponent of, if you're going to do an elimination diet, you also have to focus on what can I eat and what is the most varied version of that diet that I can possibly have. So when I go to the store, I always am looking for food that I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to grab it. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to make something out of it. And just trying to eat as much variety as I possibly can within the realm of things that won't bother my GI tract and therefore my skin. All right, so that's that. Feel free to jump in with questions if you have any. You also want to be working with someone on addressing gut pathogens, because as perfect as our diet can be, we can be perfectly not stressed out. We could be going to bed at 8 p.m. and sleeping till 8 a.m. and all of that is fantastic. But if we have gut parasites, pathogens, overgrowth of bacteria in our gut, that's really interpreted as stress by the body. And so when that happens, you want to identify and remove those. That's also crucial for the second step we're going to talk about, which is inflammation. Anytime we have a infection in our body, that is stress on the body, and so things are going to get depleted. Woo! Thanks for the hearts, guys. I love it. And so you want to be working with someone that you trust. Stress. I'm so broke out right now. Yes, absolutely. I mean, just learning that this is more common than not. Absolutely, that is so true. Like the rate at which people have gut infections and parasites, yeah, exactly, is really, really high just because, like, think of all the food that we are constantly exposed to, and think of everywhere that we've ever traveled and anyone we've come in contact with. Like, these things are passed around, and it's, I think people feel really squeamish about it, but they're really not as uncommon as most people realize. So it's good to get those checked out. Our Western culture breeds acne among many things. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of things, and we'll be talking about those as we go. What are the best way to address pathogens? The best way is to get diatomaceous earth. Yeah. The best way to identify pathogens is to get stool studies done. So nutritionists can order these. I know FDN practitioners are really amazing at getting these studies and being able to interpret them. Go to a functional practitioner, like an MD or a chiropractor or a naturopath. All those people can do the stool studies for you, and there are multiple ones. Yeah, reduce sugar. That's a big one. Yeah, absolutely. But even then, you could be reducing sugar, you're feeding them less. You really have to identify what's going on. But yeah, diatomaceous earth is an option for a normal or a natural way to kill pathogens. Some people will require multiple antibacterial things, like there's garlic, there's oregano oil. Some people get to the point where they need actual prescription medications that can also help. The two aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Like some people are helped by naturals more, some people are helped by prescription. It really just depends on what's going on in your gut and how your body is going to react, like your liver's involved and all of that stuff. So there's a lot more to it. We won't cover gut pathogens too much here, other than to say it's really, apple cider vinegar is a great one. Although apple cider vinegar, depending on how much histamine reaction you have and other things that are going on. Luricidin, yes, multiple infections, bacteria, viruses, mold yeast, perfect. If they need FDNs for gut testing, go to gingernutrition.com/practitioners. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Megan. That's perfect. Yeah, Megan is really, really knowledgeable about people to go to. Unfortunately, she's going on maternity leave. So, which is great, but she can't see people right now, but she knows lots of people that can help for that. And so definitely do that if you're concerned. And if you have multiple health problems, what was that? That was Ginger Nutrition. Let me write it down. This is going to be a little small. Oops. Yeah, Ginger Nutrition. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's Megan Rand's site and Blacksmith's site. She's got really great stuff over there, so you should check it out. Okay, so that's gut pathogens, really important. And then, so as far, in each category, I want to give you actionable items to take, just because I know it's great when we know why something's happening, but we also want to make it very much a reality for what can we do on a daily basis to help ourselves out. Hi, Dana. How's it going? Thanks for joining. So these are some of the things that I like the most. You've probably heard of these in the paleo, whole food kind of sphere, but I think bone broth is amazing for healing the gut because of the gelatin and amino acid compounds that are within, that they're actually feeding the gut lining. So it's not just the nutrients that you're absorbing through your gut lining, it's actually locally helping those. There's connections between the individual cells of the gut lining. When they start to get a little bit unsticky, pathogens and bacteria and proteins and undigested food can get in, and bone broth has those amino acids that help with healing the integrity, so those things can't get through. Do you like my little hand puppets? There's got to be a better way to do that. Well, I'll find it. I'll figure it out. So bone broth is good. I also really like L-glutamine for that exact same reason. It's an amino acid that feeds the gut lining directly. So that's really great. It also helps decrease sugar cravings for a lot of people. And since, we're trying to reduce sugar with healing our gut pathogens, C-Cure, it was, yeah, it was perfect. Awesome. Thanks. And so, yeah, L-glutamine is great for that for both reasons. I really like, DGL licorice. It's really good stuff. It mechanically, it has these mucilaginous type compounds that coat the intestinal lining, and so it's like a mechanical barrier. It's a little bit the same concept as like a Pepto-Bismol. Where do we get L-glutamine? C-Cure is great if people can't take glutamine or do bone broth. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Haley. L-glutamine you can buy a lot of places. It's up on Amazon. It's up on, you do like the Vitamin Shop. I think Whole Foods carries it. I'm trying to think of like GNC or whatever it's called. I forget. It carries it too. Glutamine Forte. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so all of these options are great. Also, for the nutrient density perspective, where do we get C-Cure and the other? Okay, Haley, can you? I'm actually not as familiar with the C-Cure, so I will look it up. But on Amazon. Okay, perfect. Yeah, here if you type in C-Cure, it comes right up first. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. I like greens, and I like buying, especially if you're busy, I like buying those pre-made mixes of greens that have like bok choy and kale and spinach and all arugula and all of those other things that provide a lot of nutrients directly to the gut lining, but also are great for your body overall. And then I really like gelatin and collagen. Megan recommends a collagen. Megan, can you weigh in? What's the name of that collagen that you like? You put it in. You can put it in drinks and it dissolves. I forget what it's called. I like the Vital Proteins. Yes, thank you. Perfect. So Vital Proteins is a really good one. Awesome, thanks people for chiming in. And then I like the Great Lakes gelatin. I either like making gummies out of them. Are greens good for the cooked and raw? So if you are having problems with digestion, there's a lot of benefit in cooking a lot of your veggies for now. Yes, cooking decreases some of the nutrients, and that's totally true, but at the same time, if you can't digest very well, that doesn't really do, more nutrients doesn't really do you much good necessarily. So in the beginning, like when I was doing my first gut healing protocol, I cooked a lot of my vegetables first and made them into like stews or cooking. Vital Protein has really improved my skin tone. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and your gut consequently. So that's great. That's fantastic. And so I like cooking first, and then as your gut improves, you can also take enzymes if you want. Great, thanks. I try to do a little raw and some cooked because that's easier on me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. And I feel like you notice a difference. What is the difference between VP and GL? Oh, Vital Proteins and Great Lakes. It's just the way that they come compounded. So I like the Vital Proteins, collagen, peptides, or the gelatin one. They're just a little bit different in their amino acid composition. I like both. I think you can just pick one. Yeah, you can do one or the other or both, and they're good. It's just the different composition of what you're providing for your gut. Okay, so that's gut health. Any other questions? Which is better for seniors? It really doesn't matter. They're both really, really great. It's hard to pick one. All right. Well, I'll pause for a second. Gelatin makes the gummies, which I like Great Lakes, the red can. Tasteless too, so we have no excuse. Yeah, I think gelatin, when I try to, like the stuff that actually gels, when I put it into a hot drink like people recommend, I think it smells like a sweaty horse. I know that's ridiculous, but that's in my head like the vision that I get, and it just makes me want to gag, so I really do gummies. But that's just that's my thing. Okay, so that's it for gut health. Let's move on. We got 3 more. Which makes gummies? The red Great Lakes gelatin. All right, and yeah, you guys are laughing at my spinny horse, right? But it's gross. Okay, so inflammation and immune system, this is intimately linked to gut health. So they're not really mutually exclusive, but I've parsed them out sort of artificially because we can do different things to modify them. But really, when you're going to heal your gut, you're going to help out your immune system, making it stronger and decrease inflammation in the body. So, you know, if you're just going to pick one thing to work on, you can start with the gut and then move on. But then there's several things that we can do just to focus on our immune system, lower inflammation. So the reason that the skin, it's not too big of a stretch to realize why inflammation and the immune system are important for skin health. A lot of times the inflammation becomes manifest in the cells that are changing rapidly, so like the gut and the skin. And there's also, because there's not enough nutrients and there's inflammation ongoing, those cells that are on the outside of our body tend to be impacted the most. And they're also like the little messenger carriers that they talk with the rest of the body, and so inflammation ends up being at the receptor level. Do you use Catch so we can watch again? No, I do not. Periscope won't let me link to a Twitter account, so they're not like the same account, and so I can't use Catch, unfortunately. But you can go to my website, which is digprimal.com, and you can sign up for my email list. I'll be resending out this replay with the oh, good idea of taking, I didn't realize you could actually take a picture. I'll keep holding that up. I will send out the replay to my entire email list, so just hop on there. If you go to digprimal.com, on the right there's a big sign up button. You just click it, put in your email, and then I'll send it to you on Tuesday, so you can rewatch it for forever, for as long as you want. Okay. Oh yeah, thanks. I also realized I didn't tell anyone who I was. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Alex. I am the blogger behind digprimal.com. I'm also an anesthesiology resident at the University of Chicago, so I'm an MD. I like holistic functional medicine, and since I don't get to do that much at my job currently, this is kind of my passion to talk about it on the internet and let people know about what I'm interested in. So that's me. Okay, thanks for the hearts, guys. All right, so inflammation and immune system. So we talked about why that's important and why it impacts acne. So one of the best things that we can do, and this will be an ongoing theme, we already talked about removing allergens from our gut. When it comes to inflammation and detoxification issues and endocrine and hormone aspect, all the other things that we're going to talk about, removing toxic substances from your environment is really, really crucial, because you're basically, if we're always getting that signal into our body, we can absorb it through our skin. Just like the gut, the integrity of the cell connections can become damaged on our skin as well. And especially when you have acne, that's a sign that the integrity of your skin is really not where it should be. And so especially if you already have acne, it's very, very important to remove those toxic stimuli from your environment. So we'll talk about, switching to more natural products for your skincare. You can DIY a lot of them for much cheaper. Toxic home makeover, yes, definitely get it. Even teenagers, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, because anyone, especially kids, they are so much more sensitive to toxic stimuli, because a lot of their functions are actually just maturing. So the Toxic Home Makeover, let me share that. The Toxic Home Makeover is a PDF that Megan of Ginger Nutrition and I put together, and it's like a complete guide. It's a 30-page PDF that walks you through cleaning up your environment, and then it also comes with, once you download it, it's an 8-week program. We created videos to help you implement these things. So I'll give you the link right now. It's healthyhormonesgroup.com/toxichome. So you can get that. Let me write it down. And if you go to my Instagram or Megan's Instagram, we have links to this. So this is it. And you just download the healthyhormonesgroup.com/toxic-home. Yeah. So that's just a guide. You don't need it if you don't need it, but if you want to be kind of walk through how to clean your environment, we talk about your beauty products, your skincare routine, your toothpaste, your lotions, your deodorant. Yes, non-toxic skincare, very important, absolutely. We talk about off-gassing from paint in your environment, from pressed furniture, like cheaper furniture that's made from other couches, your mattresses, all of those things, unfortunately. Anyone have a favorite organic eye cream? Who is Megan? I am seeing you for the first time. Megan is the blogger behind gingernutrition.com, and she's my business partner. So we have a Healthy Hormones Group program. It's a 3-month hormone balancing program. So she's my good friend. So she's the one that she let people know about the ginger.com/practitioners. If you want to work with a practitioner, she's really good at knowing who to recommend. So that's Megan. So anyways, the cleaning up your environment is super important because the lining of your body, which is supposed to be a barrier, is actually not intact. Steering clear of phytoestrogens definitely helped me a lot. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that in the endocrine and hormone section, and that's a really, really fantastic point. Thanks for sharing that made a big difference for you. All right. So when it comes to immune system and inflammation, it's really helpful also to, there's the cleaning up of your gut, but there's also doing a protocol that is specific for that autoimmune problem. So the Autoimmune Protocol, the Paleo, Sarah Ballantyne, Sarah Ballantyne of the PaleoMom.com talks about it a lot. If you guys don't know her, she's an amazing resource for immune system guidance. She has a book. And then I always like pairing the Autoimmune Protocol with the Walls Protocol. So there's MD Terry Walls, WAHLS. I like pairing those two protocols together because Terry Walls, her focus is on rebuilding the immune system through nutrient density, which I love. And then Sarah Ballantyne is all about decreasing the noxious stimuli thank you for sharing, Terry Walls, to the immune system. And I think together they probably work even better than them separately, even though I have heard amazing stories from one or the other. Don't let it overwhelm you, but if you're also having problems with your immune system and you're not fighting off infections, if you're getting sick a lot, if you have rheumatoid problems, autoimmune issues that you've already been diagnosed with, those two protocols are kind of my favorite things to start with because of how powerful they have been for people. All right. So that's the one actionable item. The other one is just, I'm going to share some superfoods that I like for autoimmune system and decreasing inflammation. So I love turmeric, ginger, I like garlic, and I like cayenne pepper. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do an apple cider vinegar mix with water in the morning, and we'll talk about that for the detoxing pathway section as well. But then I like adding ginger powder, turmeric powder, and garlic and cayenne to it. It doesn't taste the best, but it's like this super concentrated anti-inflammatory. Hi, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. We're talking about ways to heal acne. So we've already talked about the gut. We're finishing up with inflammation in the immune system. So I like mixing it all together. What to do when cayenne burns? I would just start out with smaller amounts until you can until you had to share. Thanks for sharing, guys. Until you can tolerate it. So, and if you can't at the moment, that's totally fine. You can leave that part out. I also like adding turmeric and ginger to smoothies that I make in the morning. Like I find the whole roots and I just chunk them up and put them in there, just because they're so concentrated. You don't need a lot. Okay, any questions about inflammation or the immune system? We got 2 down, 4 to go, or 2 to go. We'll be talking about this too. I have water, liquid chlorophyll, and then I have milk thistle, one of my favorite things. So I'm just going to drink, and you guys can ask questions. Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't look like you guys do, so let's go on. So, hormonal acne. This is a really big problem. Again, not why what. Can you talk about specific areas of the face where acne occurs and why? Taste. Oh yeah. This does not taste great, but I think it tastes fine. This is just liquid chlorophyll and milk thistle tincture, so it's just in water. That's all it is. As far as where acne occurs, a lot of times I've seen them linked to different body parts. I was drinking that for a while and it seemed to trigger my thyroid system. Sorry, after yeah, sometimes that can. You can also find herbal tablets if you dislike the taste. Yeah, exactly. I like tinctures and liquid things because I feel like they're more predictably absorbed and faster, absorbed more quickly. But it is complete. You know, if that means you're not going to take it because you don't like the taste, I would certainly rather people do the capsules instead. Then. So back to the where acne occurs. I think it's a little bit artificial. Where the line is, like just because it happens on your nose, it means it's your gut. Like, I don't think that that's that predictable. I think there's something to be said for that, but I don't think it's going to identify so many of these things, you know, the gut health, inflammation, immune system, your hormones, and your detox pathways are such global problems that are all interconnected that I think isolating it to you get it on your chin, therefore it's adrenals is a problem. Never thought my acne was hormonal because it was exclusively on my forehead at first. Not true. Yeah, exactly. So there seems to be so much crossover. I am hesitant to, mine is jaw and neck. I've always heard that's hormones. I think there's something to be said for that. Certainly, I don't necessarily think that's false, but just because someone gets it on their like chest and back doesn't make it not hormones, in my opinion. That's just mine though, you know. I have Crohn's and have been having gas to the point if I can see my intestines bubbling up. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is miserable. It's new though, yeah. Very painful. I can totally imagine. All right, so hormones are another one of these things that is also linked to gut and the immune system. So you can kind of see how we're building more and more and more on top of each other because they are so linked to each other. So anytime you have gut dysfunction, leads to inflammation, leads to increased stress in the body, leads to endocrine and hormonal problems. It can also be primary, like your hormonal problem started first and then the other ones. So it can happen vice versa, but they're always going to kind of the sicker that you get, the more systems are going to get involved. They can happen in any order though. So as far as the endocrine and hormonal system, I did have a Periscope last week about how the hormonal cycle, the normal ones, and how it can get broken. And we talked about acne a little bit there. So if you want to sign up for my email list and you get the replay of this one, you can go on and see all the other ones I've done. So just sign up for that if you're interested. But really what it comes down to, so you think Crohn's and acne are related to gut? Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I think anything that happens with the gut impacts our skin health on the outside. The reason, so hormonal acne is usually because of an imbalance between optimal progesterone levels and optimum estrogen levels. So they can either be all low, they can be low, but the estrogen is higher than it should be in comparison to the progesterone. You could have it switched where the progesterone is higher than it should be compared to estrogen. They can also be one abnormally high and one abnormally low. So it's not a definitive, it's just when estrogen's high or just when estrogen's low. It's just about the problem with that balance. For that reason, it's not quite as easy as just take just take hormones and they'll go away. People do that because of birth control pills and still acne. That's exactly why. I mean, giving birth control helps sometimes with that balance, but the problem is birth control then is mostly static hormones. You don't have that normal, regular rise and fall of the hormones throughout the cycle. They're just static. And then that means birth control is what ruined me. Yeah, it's hard for a lot of people. I mean, I don't want to knock birth control. It's great in certain circumstances. I personally think it's overused for things like pelvic pain and acne because you're not rebalancing the normal hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal, and ovarian axis, you're really just blunting that response all the way through. So when the imbalance is the cause of that, it's not necessarily going to help. It's just going to put a stop exactly kind of in one location. That's all it's going to be. So a lot of times it doesn't really reverse anything. It just maybe halts what's going on. And so for that reason, I'm a big fan of natural hormonal balancing. So we're talking about things like working on getting sleep, working on minimizing stressors, reducing sugar, making sure you're eating enough fats and complex carbs. You're not starving yourself. You're finding ways to de-stress, meditate, do yoga, minimize the type A personality, which is so hard for me because that is so me. But all of these things, when our cortisol levels are high in the body, then you're really going to be, that's my husband right there, that's going to be messing with our hormones. So as much as that you can do to minimize stressors in your body. What are some supplements to balance estrogen, progesterone? Anxiety. Oh, I know. Yeah, anxiety actually comes with estrogen and progesterone imbalances as well. Supplements, I highly don't recommend, hello Jennifer, don't recommend just blindly taking supplements for hormonal health, just because you can really mess yourself up worse when you don't know where your baseline is and then you start adding things. But things like Vitex can be really helpful, chaseberry, I'm hesitating to even really go into that, just because I really discourage people from just blindly using them. Maca, M-A-C-A can be a topic, but let's save that one we'll do that for another topic, just because I really don't. People can make things a lot worse for them by doing that. Do you think the same goes for thyroid medication? They don't heal the problem. It depends on what's going on with your thyroid. If there's so much damage at the level of the thyroid that you're no longer making the hormones, you're going to have to supplement. There's no way around that. It's just because the tissue is lost. There's no more tissue to make that. If you still have a lot of function that can be recovered by focusing on autoimmunity and things like that, then you can actually get off thyroid medication in some instances, but not guaranteed. Coffee and caffeine wrecks my gut and digestion. I'm still in mourning for my coffee. Oh my gosh, I totally feel you. It has done the same for me. I have to just keep an eye on it a lot of times. And occasionally it'll still sneak in there, and it is so hard to get rid of. Okay, so that is it for hormonal health right now. I'm new to this topic. How do I get a baseline for my hormone levels? I would work with either a functional practitioner. You can do salivary testing. If you want to do a group program, Megan of Ginger Nutrition and I have a Healthy Hormones group program. You can just go to healthyhormonesgroup.com. We have a little bit or contact us and we can get you set up with that. We do testing. We do neurotransmitter and hormonal testing for the 3 months, and then walk people through the program as just a group program. Or you can find a practitioner if you go to gingernutrition.com/ are you on Facebook? Yes, I am. I'm Dig Primal over there as well. If you go to Megan's recommendations for practitioners, those are people that can all do testing with you. Or you can go to if you want to see an MD, a reproductive endocrinologist is one of the best people to see for hormonal problems, because a lot of times they won't do, hi, I'm Alex. I'm Alex too. Oh, hi, Alex. I misread that. I thought it said I'm Alex. Hi, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the hearts. Love it. So yeah, those are all people that can help you do the testing with you. And I did the thing where I blindly just supplemented, and it was rough. I really messed myself up. So please try not to do that if at all possible. Okay, let's talk about the last thing, and then you can ask questions and we'll hop off. So detoxification pathway support is super important for acne because of the hormonal aspect. So again, we're building on what we already talked about. So a lot of times hormonal problems it is due to detoxification pathway stagnation that's going on in the liver. So there's increased estrogens because a lot of the endocrine disruptors in our environment act like estrogen and sometimes like progesterone. So what they do is those compounds come and sit on the cell receptors, and they block the ability of estrogen to actually activate the receptors. So they block the estrogen from working normally, but they don't work normally either. So all they're doing, it's like sticking some gum in a lock. You can't get the key in, but you also can't open the door. So that's how those chemicals work. That's another reason to clean up your environment, do the toxic home makeover and things like that. But generally, once you've already gotten to that state, most people benefit from detox pathway support. So this is why I'm drinking my chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is really great for that. Apple cider vinegar is really great. I think milk thistle is my favorite just because it works in 5 different ways to help the liver, and so it can help in no matter where you're getting stuck. It's kind of like a all-for-one type of approach that I really like. You can also help your detox pathways out by working green juice. Yes, totally. Green juice is a phenomenal thing. Just dumped my plug-in air fresheners. Oh my gosh, that is so great. That's such a good step. I have an essential oil diffuser. You can start off really cheap. I'll show you guys mine. It's right here. That little thing right there, the white sitting right there with the lid. That's a to-go essential oil diffuser. It was $20. So if you wanna, what do you put in your green juice? I like doing combinations of all sorts of greens. So a lot of times I do, plugins are bad, just there's a lot of chemicals in them. That's why a lot of people say essential oil diffusers are the best, just to make it smell good. So green juice, I do kale, spinach, I do the tops of things. So I'll do like the tops of carrots that I buy, the tops of beets. I like radish greens. I basically make a salad and then I blend it up. That's my smoothie. I also like adding fat to it. So coconut milk or almond butter, or, things like that add in that fat so you can absorb the fat soluble vitamins. So I usually add something fat in my smoothie, and then sometimes, if just for taste, I'll put in like half a banana, because banana is like the most powerful taste ever, and so like it makes everything taste like banana. So if you don't like the taste, and then I always add ginger and turmeric to mine. And so for juices, if I was juicing, I would do the exact same thing. Same stuff. You could also do celery, cucumber, things like that. I like to make mine kind of as, not just greens, I like to make it as colorful as possible. So it ends up being brown a lot, but I kind of like the combination of everything. All right, and so then back to detox pathways. I also am a big proponent, if you're going to work on detoxing from the inside, doing it from the outside with the lymphatic system. So our lymphatics are vessels that run right underneath the surface. So the things that we do for overall skin health also really help with detox pathway support. So I like contrast showers. That's where you like blast the cold water, blast the hot water, blast the cold water, blast the hot water a couple times before you're done in the shower. I like saunas. I like dry brushing. I like coconut oil pulling, and then tongue scraping to get rid of toxins that we like. Basically, our tongue is just part of our digestive system, and when we sleep, a lot of times we're working on processing a lot of things and then outputting them into the GI tract, and our tongue is just where things can get deposited. So it's really no different whether it's tongue or deep in our intestines. It's going to be the same way. The thing with the tongue is that we can actively scrape it off. So I liked getting a tongue scraper every morning and every night. I'll tongue scrape everything that was deposited. A lot of times, the healthier that your detoxification pathways are, the less you'll have on your tongue, and that's just like an outwardly way to tell what's going on. All right, so those are the active things to do for detoxing. And then lastly, natural movement, like making as you can tell, when I do these periscopes, I always sit on the ground. I sit in different ways. I have a pull-up bar where I hang. I try to get yoga in, stretching. The more you move your body in these natural ways, like squatting, lifting things up, reaching overhead, moving your arms in different ways, not just, you know, driving, typing, sleeping, where arms are in front of us, you know, trying to get our full range of motion. We're really working on those lymphatics and detox pathways. Hi. Hey guys, new people. We're talking about acne. And I think that's it. So we talked about gut health, we talked about inflammation and the immune system, we talked about the endocrine and hormonal system, we talked about detox pathways, and they all built on each other. So you can start on any one of them or all of them if you want. It doesn't really matter, but working on one will help you work on the rest. So that's good stuff. And then, let's see, this is getting, love all your info. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you find it helpful. Let me ask you guys, do you want me to go a little bit into topical treatments, or would you rather me save that for another discussion? Because we've talked about everything that you can work on the inside of your body. Can you go over those pathways again? It was so quick. Yeah. Oh, yes, please. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. We'll do so the pathway, the detox pathways are basically when topical. Great. Awesome. Thank you. I will talk about that. So the detox pathways are basically when we have excess hormones that need to be detoxified. If those detox pathways aren't working, what happens? Cold, hot, what? Oh, the contrast showers. It's just cold and hot water where you is basically works the muscles and vessels and the nerves in your skin, and it basically just stimulates everything in your skin. So contrast showers are really great for detoxification. As far as detoxing estrogen and other hormones, basically when those functions aren't working well, estrogen is only partially deactivated. It should be deactivated and then put into your GI tract and then eliminated. When that's not happening, because your liver is gunked up with all these things from your environment, you're basically taking the estrogen, only partially detoxifying it, and then it goes back into your bloodstream. So you have this paradoxical thing where it seems like you have excess estrogen, but the estrogen can't function like estrogen, so it also causes symptoms of estrogen deficiency. So there can be both. And so that's what most people have, and acne is definitely related to that. So because both high and low can cause acne, the fact that you have two seemingly things going on, then that's why working on the detox pathways is so important. Okay, so topical things. Lots and lots of water with trace minerals also really helps with my detox. Yeah, absolutely. Trace minerals is good. Contrast showers and question, I have a fatty liver to heal. Yeah, so if you have any problems with your liver pre-existing, a lot of these things are really important. For fatty liver, you know, working on hormone balance and working on insulin balance, and then depending on what your weight is, normalization of weight, whether it's too much or too little weight, and also making sure to decrease alcohol. So fatty liver and alcohol are commonly related, as is anything with weight and insulin resistance. So those things can all help, but then all those detox tools that I talked about are also really, really helpful for fatty liver or any other end stage. What is your nightly skincare routine? Yeah, no, non-alcohol. Yeah, a lot of times that is. All right, yeah, I'll go through my topical treatments that I like, and then I'll talk about my skincare routine. I DIY everything, so I'm not really helpful when it comes to suggesting products. I like making everything from scratch, just because I like knowing what's in it, but also had hepatitis I, yeah, absolutely. All those things that we talked about from the detox pathway support will all help with that, because fatty liver for most people is a reversible problem. Once it gets past that, there's kind of a 3-stage problem with as liver degenerates, but fatty liver is that first step, and a lot of times people can completely heal from that. The liver is amazing in its regenerative capacity, so it's all good. So topical treatments. So we have, I'm going to go through oils and then I'm going to talk about essential oils. So oils that I like the most are sea buckthorn oil, and these are all my favorite because of their nutrients that they possess and their ability to penetrate skin from varying degrees. So not every oil has to penetrate your skin because not everything, thanks for the kisses and applause, love it. Not every single oil has to penetrate your skin because some oils are going to feed it from a topical diffusing in sort of way, and some of them are going to penetrate and heal from there. Yeah, sea buckthorn. Yeah, exactly. It's this orange berry, so it's this orange oil that you can get. It's really, really rich in nutrients and helps penetrate the skin. Use that throughout both pregnancies. Yeah, it's really helpful. I love it. And a lot of times I mix the oils together, so I'm getting all of them at the same time. Just I'm lazy and I don't want to apply all of them individually. So I do sea buckthorn oil. Burdock root oil is one of my favorites. So I use it for the oil cleansing method. I don't do that every night, but I'll do it every couple days, and I really like it. It's also really good at penetrating and providing nutrients. Ooh, hemp seed's good. Even if no acne, that's good. And then argan oil. I really like Tammany oil for acne-prone skin. Tammany oil, and then I always mix it with neem oil, and both of them are really good at cleansing and helping to remove impurities from the skin. And neem oil I also like to dilute and then put topically on acne because it helps decrease the inflammation much more rapidly and promotes healing. And then a lot of these help with scarring, especially something like argan oil and burdock root is. All of these are either I like them because they have a ton of nutrients or because of the way they penetrate the skin to deliver the nutrients. And a lot of them, like sea buckthorn oil and burdock root and tamanu, sure, yeah, I can write the names. They all are helpful with acne. So tamanu. All right, on. Okay, here. All right. That's Tammany oil, burdock root oil, argan oil. Can you give more Rex for hyperpigmentation scars, please? Actually, these are all hyperpigmentation will also help here. What if no acne, just older skin? Then some of the essential oils, but we're really talking about acne here. So I am not quite prepared. There are other things for wrinkles like frankincense and geranium, which we'll talk about. Those things are good for wrinkles, but mostly argan oil, with an A, sorry. It's that one right here, ARGAN. Oregano oil, guess I never thought about that. It would probably be good. I'd give my left arm if I get rid of acne. Yeah, seriously. I feel like a lot of people feel that way. I think the good news is that there's a lot that goes into acne, and the more you work on it, the better your entire health gets. And so, like, it's never you're just working on acne. Yeah, argan oil, got it. And that's a really fantastic thing to know. So, like, even if it's a slow process, do all this stuff, it works if you take a 360 approach. Exactly. Yeah. Cystic is the worst. Absolutely. I can totally commiserate with that. That's, and it's stressful to feel like, your outward appearance is being impacted. I can totally relate, but just know that you're doing something great for your entire health when you're working on this stuff. And that's a powerful feeling to know that you have the control to take a lot of this and work with a practitioner. The stuff isn't easy to work on your own. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get help, and then as you improve with those things, and your skin will improve. I use spray of camphor to dry and heal and prevent. Yeah, I like camphor too. That's a good idea. The ones that I was going to tell you about were so neem oil is really amazing topically. Then carrot seed essential oil. So I'll write these down too. EO is just going to be essential oil. I like rosemary essential oil, and then geranium. And then neem oil is phenomenal. So these are my favorites, specifically for acne. So tea tree. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, totally great point. I totally forgot tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is great. Yeah, I would like that too. Yeah, I'm putting it on there. Sorry if you guys already took a picture. All right, so those are mine. A lot of my mixes have these things all mixed together. I have a ton. So this is my website. I have an entire skincare section, digprimal.com. I have an entire skincare section where I have, okay, not camphor oil. I've never tried that. I only did the camphor oil, but in small quantities, I really liked it. But no, thanks for sharing that. That's really great. There's a DIY skincare, sun and breakout, chin and above mouth. Will those oils work? Yeah, I really like diluting neem oil and like some sort of citrus oil together and using it topically. I have a topical. So thankful for your website and help. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you liked it. I have a zit-zapping mix of those oils up on the website in that skincare section. When put up the note, please make it higher. Oh no. Dilute with what? You can use any of these oils. You just have to dilute it. It's mostly for the neem oil to be a carrier, but it doesn't really matter, especially any of these. The tamanu, burdock root, argan, and sea buckthorn. Those are just my favorites, but if all you have is coconut oil on hand, that's good too. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. And like I said, I have all of these up on the website, and I have, it's called Clean and Clear Face Serum. I have a skin brightening one, and I have another one which I can't remember, but it's all up there. And it has these ingredients and more, and I usually in my post describe why I'm using what I'm using, and so you can find out more there. And I think that's all I have for you today. What questions can I answer before we hop off? And if you don't have any, thanks for joining. I really appreciate all the interaction and you asking questions and everything. It's always really fun for me. And I hope you found this helpful. Okay. So thanks for the hearts, guys. I really love it. What can cause sudden breakouts? So really the short answer is all of the 4 things that we, oh, thank you. I'm in Chicago. I've never had problems. A lot of times I would blame gut first if you're just now having problems. But really sudden acne can come from all 4 organ systems that we talked about. So glad I caught this. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much. If you guys want to get in touch with me either through Instagram or my email, you can just let me know if there's a topic that you want me to cover. I have a list going. Hashtag Midwest for life. Yes, very much. I've been in the Midwest for most of my life and I love it. And except for now, I'm when it's winter, I'm like, I'm moving. And then when it's summer, I'm like, I'm never leaving here. So it looks like I'm here to stay for a while. All right. Anywho, yeah, get in touch with me. Let me know what questions you have, what other topics you want me to cover, and I am more than happy to do them. All right. Have a great day. See you later.